I was 14 when I first started noticing the tapping. It always happened after midnight, 3 soft taps against my bedroom window. At first, I thought it was tree branches, but there were no trees near that side of the house. The window faced an open backyard stretching into a line of woods. We lived on the edge of town, where the darkness after sunset felt heavier, thicker, like it swallowed sound whole. The tapping began happening more frequently. Always the same pattern, tap, tap, tap. Soft, almost polite, but unmistakably intentional. I tried telling my parents, but they dismissed it as a bird or a shifting house frame. So I pretended it didn't bother me. But deep down, I was terrified. One night, curiosity overpowered fear. When the tapping came again, I slid out of bed, walked to the window, and pulled the curtain back. A face stared back at me. A woman, pale, thin, with long black hair plastered against her cheeks, as if she had walked through rain. But it wasn't raining. Her eyes were enormous, unblinking, dark as pitch. She stood inches from the glass, head tilted slightly, as if she were studying me. I froze. My heart hammered so loud, I thought she might hear it. She didn't move. She didn't blink. She just watched. I stumbled backward, gasping, and dove under my blanket, too afraid to look again. Eventually, the tapping stopped. But I kept my eyes squeezed shut until morning. The next day, I convinced myself I had dreamed it, hallucinated from lack of sleep. But that night, she returned. Tap, tap, tap. I hid under the blanket again, praying she would go away. But something changed the third night. The tapping became scratching, long, slow drags of fingernails across the glass. I could hear her breathing now, a soft, raspy sound. The scratching stopped, and a faint whisper followed. "Let me in." I screamed. My parents rushed into the room, flicking the lights on. But when they looked at the window, there was nothing. No woman. No scratches. No sign anyone had been there. My father, annoyed, told me to stop watching scary videos. My mother sat on my bed and stroked my hair, saying I needed more sleep. I didn't sleep for the next 2 nights. On the 5th night, I decided to record it. I set my phone on my desk facing the window and hit record. I lay in bed with my back turned to the glass, shaking under the blanket. Right on schedule. Tap, tap, tap. I didn't look. I didn't breathe. I just waited until the sun rose. When I checked the recording the next morning, the video was dark for the first few hours. Then, at exactly 12:17 a.m., the tapping sound became audible. A few seconds later, the camera caught movement, a silhouette passing slowly across the window. My blood turned to ice. The figure stepped closer, revealing the same pale woman. Except this time she smiled. A wide, unnatural grin stretching farther than humanly possible. She leaned forward, fogging the glass with her breath, and traced a heart shape with her finger. Then she whispered, "Almost." My hand trembled so violently I dropped the phone. I ran downstairs sobbing, begging my parents to watch the video. But when they played it, the window was empty. The audio was silent. The whisper was gone. The file looked corrupted. That night, I slept in my parents' room. But the woman didn't come for me. She came for them. At exactly midnight, I woke to the sound of scratching, this time at my parents' window. My mother stirred, annoyed. My father got up angrily and yanked the curtains open. He froze. My mother gasped, and I heard it, the same voice, the same whisper. "Let me in." My father stumbled backward, knocking over a lamp. I clung to my mother, crying. The woman pressed her forehead against the glass, staring at us with those impossible black eyes. She lifted her hand and tapped, tap, tap, tap. My father grabbed his phone to call the police. But before he could dial, the woman smiled one last time and vanished. Literally vanished. 1 second she was there, the next she wasn't. The police found nothing. No footprints. No signs of forced entry. No indication anyone had been around our house. My parents believed me after that night. We moved in with relatives the very next morning. For years, I tried to forget her face. But last week, for the first time in a long time, I heard it again. Tap, tap, tap. At my new bedroom window. Our school is old, built in the early 1900s, full of creaking floors and long hallways that echoed even when empty. But the worst part was the basement. The teachers said it was for storage, but no one ever went down there except the janitor, Mr. Doyle. Students whispered stories about a room down there that was permanently locked. Some said a former student died in it. Others said it wasn't a student, but something else. I never believed any of it until the day my class was assigned a project that required us to retrieve old props from the basement. Mr. Doyle unlocked the door, grumbling about kids messing with things, and left us alone, saying he'd return in 15 minutes. The basement was colder than the rest of the school, and the air felt thick, dusty, and still. Rows of old lockers stood against the walls, rusted and dented. We found the props quickly, but curiosity got the better of me. My friend Layla pointed toward the far end of the hallway. "Look," she whispered. "The locked room." It looked different from the others. Newer padlock, metal door reinforced with steel plates. A faded sign read, "Do not enter." We should have listened. Layla dared me to knock. I rolled my eyes, walked over, and tapped my knuckles against the door. Instantly, something tapped back. Hard, like a fist pounding from the other side. Layla screamed and dropped the props. I staggered back, heart racing. But before either of us could move, the door rattled violently, as if something inside was trying to break out. A low moan echoed from the other side. Not human. Not animal. Something else. We ran. But halfway down the hallway, the lights flickered and went out. Darkness swallowed everything. I grabbed Layla's arm as the pounding on the door grew louder, faster, desperate. Then we heard it. Footsteps. Slow, dragging footsteps coming toward us. We backed up against the wall, shaking. The sound grew louder, closer. A faint shape appeared in the darkness, tall, hunched, moving in jerky motions like its body didn't work properly. It wasn't Mr. Doyle. It wasn't anyone from our school. I smelled it before I saw it. Rot. Decay. Damp earth. Layla whispered my name, but I couldn't answer. The figure emerged into the faint emergency light. Its skin was grayish, stretched tight across its bones. Its mouth hung open, revealing jagged, broken teeth. Its eyes were milky white, unfocused, yet somehow locked on us. It reached out with one trembling hand. But then, a bright light blinded us. "Hey!" Mr. Doyle's voice boomed. "What are you two doing?" The creature vanished. Gone. Like it had never been there. Mr. Doyle rushed us upstairs, scolding us for wandering. We tried explaining, but he pressed his lips tight and said only one thing. "That room stays locked for a reason." The next day, the basement door was sealed with heavy chains. A week later, an announcement said Mr. Doyle had quit and moved out of state. But sometimes when I walk past the old stairwell, I swear I hear faint tapping coming from below. Tap, tap, tap. I used to work late-night shifts at a small diner outside town. The fastest route home was a long, silent highway surrounded by thick forest. Locals called it the Hollow Road, but no one ever explained why. I didn't care. I just wanted to get home quickly. One night, after closing, I got into my car and started driving. The road was empty, the sky moonless, and fog hovered low over the pavement. My headlights barely cut through it. About 10 minutes in, my radio crackled with static. I hit the button, but the static only grew louder. Then I heard it, whispering beneath the static, like someone mumbling too close to a microphone. I turned the radio off completely. The whispering continued. That's when I saw her. A woman in a white dress walking along the side of the road. Barefoot. Head down. Hair covering her face. She didn't react to my headlights. I slowed the car, heart pounding. At first I thought she was injured or lost. I rolled down the window a crack. "Ma'am, do you need help?" She stopped walking. but she didn't turn toward me. Instead, her head snapped upward, unnaturally fast, and she stared directly at me with hollow, lifeless eyes. I floored the gas. My car sped down the road, but when I checked the mirror, she was gone. Relief washed over me, until I looked ahead. She was standing in the middle of the road. The same woman, same dress, same dead eyes. I slammed the brakes. My car skidded, tires screeching. But before it stopped, the woman stepped closer, only a few inches from the hood, staring at me like she could see straight through my soul. Her mouth opened, and I heard the same whisper from the radio. "You shouldn't be here." My entire body trembled. I threw the car into reverse and backed away, turning around as fast as I could. The moment I sped back the way I came, the fog lifted, the static vanished, and the road looked normal again. I took the long route home after that. A few days later, I mentioned it to an old coworker. His face went pale. "You saw her," he whispered. "The woman from the old accident. She died on that road decades ago. They say she walks it at night, searching for someone to take her place." I quit my job the next morning. Now, every time I drive at night, I avoid all empty roads. Because sometimes, late at night, when I'm alone in my car, I swear I hear that whisper again. "You shouldn't be here." These encounters, 3 stories from 3 different places, remind us that the world is far stranger and darker than we like to believe. Whether it's something tapping at our window, something locked away where it shouldn't be, or something waiting on a lonely road, horrors often exist just outside our view, waiting for the right moment to be seen. If you're still listening in the dark, don't look toward your window. And if you hear tapping tonight, do not open the curtain.